Hey guys, it's Gez Perez here, and this is video part number 1, and welcome to our series on how to build your resiliency. Now, there are 4 tips. Today's lesson is about 4 tips on how you can build that resiliency. So resiliency is all about having the ability to bounce back when you are faced with adversity. Now, I know some of us, experience life and it's not a bit of roses, right? And as you're, looking and achieving your goals, your dreams and aspirations, there are going to be times where you're going to have challenges. However, this video series is all about not only bouncing back, but conquering and thriving and rising forward. So, given the rapidly changed around the world that we live in, it's important skill to have resiliency every single day of our lives. Now, if you're somebody who lacks resiliency, don't despair, because like in any other skill, resilience can be improved if you're willing to put in the work. Now, there are 4 tips to get you started. Number 1 is you got to identify your purpose. Now, we all need that motivator, right? We all need to identify what that purpose is, because it can enhance or help you become more resilient and something they can actually work towards to. Now, even the most resilient people, have days where they don't want to get out of bed, or they feel like just not doing anything and procrastinate. But if you are looking and working towards something, it's going to help you. And this is the reason why, the only way you can kick out procrastination in your life is really, honing your why and actually doing it. Even though it may suck a little bit, maybe challenging, but when you're purpose driven, you're actually going to do something. So number 2 is you got to learn to understand and manage your emotions. A key part of resilience is the emotional management. Now, it's a way where it stops you from getting stuck in the low periods or the troughs, and where you don't want to keep moving forward, so you got to learn to identify, what are the triggers that are actually pulling you down, what are the emotions that you're placing towards actually giving you that negative response. So, and these are the things in how you can actually replace it and strategize around that emotional, management or behavior. So the better you control your emotions, the more likely you are going to bounce back every time you have a setback. And I always say, every setback is a setup for a comeback, right? So number 3 is you got to take a break when needed. Being resilient doesn't mean you can't feel the emotions. It is important to process your feelings in order to deal with them. So make sure you take a break when you need it. Now, if things are getting overwhelmed, and you don't need to pick yourself up right away, it is important, however, that you learn to identify the difference between processing your emotions and unhealthy wallowing. So when you can do this, your resilient level are likely to soar. And again, this is really important, to take a break when needed. For me, for instance, when I face another trial or I face another challenge, and I know that I hit a brick wall, I allow myself to take 3 days. And after the 3rd day, I rise again and I move forward. So allow to have, sink in, have this, we're all human. So allow the emotions to sink in and then let it go. Number 4 is change your thinking. Resilience has a place of all emotions, including negativity. That being said, it is important to process negative feelings in a productive way, right? So you got to change your thinking to the approach, from a negative thought pattern to a positive pattern with taking action. And so you don't want to have negativity just for the sake of it, right? And so it needs to come in, it needs to come out. And I always say in my workshops or seminars is that, a negative mind will never give you a positive life, but a positive life will always give you an abundant life. So change your thinking and you're going to change your results, right? So I know we're all human, but apply these 4 tips, right? And we got to change the way we say ourselves as well. So, you got to tell yourself, I can, I will, and I must, and being resilient. So just a slight, small change can make a difference. So if you're looking to become more resilient, the best thing is get started now. By engaging these small tips or strategies, as you could say, you're able to build resilience over time. So this is video number 1, and I'll see you on video number 2 on the next video.